Hello and welcome to the Cinema Dungeon. Today's review is going to be of The Prowler from 1981. The Prowler is a 1981 horror film, slasher film, directed by Joe Zito with special effects by Tom Savini. Not a huge cast, but it's a very fun movie. A lot of very memorable moments. Now this is the Blu-ray from Blue Underground. This is the same standard that there's been since it came out, probably about somewhere between 4 and 6 years ago. And it looks like it's still the standard. It's the first one that comes up on Amazon when you put in The Prowler, and I don't see any other Blu-ray releases for it. Maybe there have been some limited editions in the past 4 to 6 years, but I'm not sure. And so in terms of upgrading, I'm not too aware of anything other than Blue Underground's DVD release. And as far as I know, previously before this, you would have to buy a VHS copy or just go for bootleg, whatever you could find. So this you can find for just under $15 on Amazon.com currently, or directly through Blue Underground/MVD for currently just under $20 at the making of this video. So let's dive into the aesthetic. Now, it's a very simple, bare bones kind of Blu-ray case. It has a nice spine that would fit in well with other films of the same type, same period, slasher films, horror films. The cover artwork is adapted from the original poster that came out at the time. The back is just simple, has the synopsis, has all the specifications, has the list of the special features and all that. So let's open it up. So here we have a nice basic disc. On the left panel there is no book, but it does have all of the chapters listed. Pop the disc out. Nice little scare from a memorable scene in the film. Now why don't we pop this in over there and watch it? Now, why don't we... I'm back. Okay, so let's just dig in on the movie a little bit first. So it's very good and very fun for what it is, which is a early 80s horror slasher film in the vein of Halloween. It's a bit of a darker film than certain other slashers of its period. It takes itself a little more seriously in tone than some of the other slasher movies of that period. It's not super campy. It takes itself a little more seriously in a good way, in a non-pretentious way. So I'd put this maybe more in a similar category to Maniac, which actually Tom Savini had just finished before he started working on this film. So all in all, for what it is, I give it 2 thumbs up. Now let's move on to image quality for the film. I would say that it looked excellent. It looks like they scanned it from an original negative. I don't know for certain if that's what the case is or not, but it certainly looks like it. Yeah, it looks amazing. The audio's great as well. It features 7.1 and 5.1 and original mono, which is really cool. I wasn't able to test out the 7.1 a while ago. I had a home theater 5.1 and it sounded great on that. Sounds great on just a standard TV. And it's featured in its original aspect ratio, which is really nice. This is also a notable film as it's Joseph Zito's first pretty much major film. And it's also the first collaboration between Joseph Zito and Tom Savini, which is really cool. They went on to do a few films together, including Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. Now, in terms of special features, it's not a lot, but it's special features. So I'll start with kind of the least remarkable, which is the theatrical trailer. Now, if I ever get a DVD or a Blu-ray and it doesn't have a theatrical trailer, I know it's pretty sparse. You can't even get the trailer? Come on. But this one has a trailer. It's good quality. It looks like 480p upscaled to 1080. So it's not nice and crisp and super HD like I would like it to be. Unlike Blue Underground's Machine Gun McCain release, which had a beautiful trailer. It almost looked like it had to be reconstructed. It was so pristine. But I wish they would have dug out a 16mm or 35mm trailer if they could have found one and done a high definition scan of that. So it's not a great quality scan, but it's a little better than what's available on YouTube at the moment. And the next special feature is a 10-minute video of Tom Savini's home movies during the production. It's not too exciting, but it is interesting. Pretty much just shows the magic tricks being performed largely by the magician of gore himself, Tom Savini. We get to see Joseph Zito directing and see take after take till they get the desired grisly illusions. It's fun to watch, but I probably would have enjoyed it a little more if there would have been maybe some narration over it. And it's good quality for what it is, which is filmed on tape, so it has almost a late 70s, early 80s sitcom look to it. Which, it's a really good scan of a low quality medium. Now, the best special feature to me by far is the audio commentary with Joe Zito and Tom Savini. If audio commentaries are your kind of thing, I definitely recommend giving it a listen. It's a lot of fun. It's two guys that have known each other for decades, sitting down to watch a movie that they made together that they haven't seen in 30 years, pretty much. They share a lot of very cool insight from behind the scenes in the making of the film, and even just where some of the cast is now and how things have changed over the last 30, 40 years in filmmaking. So in terms of special features, so very cool, very good stuff. So to round things up, the movie itself gets an A+. The quality of the video on the Blu-ray gets an A+. The special features, it's not a lot, to be honest. It's three things, one of which is an audio commentary. And I know audio commentaries aren't for everybody. So they're good. I wish there could have been more featurettes and interviews, that sort of thing. But for what it is, it's good. So I'd give kind of an average, a B+, maybe. A B+ for special features. So now we come down to, what should you do? Should you buy it? Should you stream it? Should you skip it? Now, as of the making of this video, you can watch The Prowler free with ads on Tubi and Vudu. Don't watch movies with ads unless you absolutely have to and you just can't help yourself. Don't watch it with commercials. It's never made sense to me why anyone would watch a movie with commercials. Unless they've already seen it a million times, then yeah. Star Wars with commercial breaks, okay, but if it's your first time seeing Star Wars, don't watch it with TNT commercials or whatever channels have that. Luke, I'm your father. And now this word from Aspercream. No. You can also watch it with a subscription to Shudder and Prime Video. Then you can also rent/buy from Amazon and Apple TV. So, should you buy, stream, or skip? I'd say, if you don't like sex and nudity and violence, don't watch it. This isn't made for you. If you do enjoy movies like slasher movies and what they are, then don't skip it. Definitely watch it. You'll get a lot of joy out of it, a lot of fun. So just on a personal note, I've had this Blu-ray copy since it came out 4 to 6 years ago, and I find myself revisiting it every couple years, if not about every year almost. I just introduced my wife to it not long ago, and it's a really fun movie. One of the best of the genre, in my opinion. And so if you already have a shelf of slasher movies, if you already have a shelf with Friday the 13th, this is an interesting little piece of Friday the 13th history, because the producers of Friday the 13th franchise saw the Prowler and said, oh, well, next time we're going to make one of these things, we're going to call you guys. And that's what got Tom Savini and Joseph Zito on for Final Chapter. If you're a collector like me, if you just like to have the physical media, which I always do prefer, because with streaming you never know if someone's using their phone, if something happens, if there's a storm, who knows. Video quality might drop from 1080 down to 360p, and you're just watching mud on the screen, a muddy pixeled mess. So I always prefer to just have it right there on the shelf. Take it off and watch it anytime you want. Doesn't matter if you have internet. If you don't have internet, it's always there, always reliable. Now, if you're on the fence, watch it, stream it, and then decide, do I like this movie enough to invest in the special features? Do I like this movie enough where in maybe another year's time, 2 years, I'm going to want to watch this again? Yeah, make the investment. I think it's a good one. I really like this Blu-ray. I like the special features on it. I think Blue Underground did a fantastic job of restoring this film and collecting the special features that it did. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so you don't miss any of our videos here. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time in the Cinema Dungeon.
It was 1945, the night of the graduation dance. The war overseas had just ended. The terror at home,
Roy,
was about to begin.
Roy?